Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the lunch line. We're back in the line, but there's only two of us here on board right now. Myself and Jake. JT is MIA, missing in action, may have gone AWOL. We'll have to find out next week, hopefully. Jake's a little concerned. We're all concerned here. Jake, how are you doing, though, since we have you here?
I mean, I'm feeling great. Unfortunately, I feel like this is a constant trend that's happening in the juice box world. For all of you that have listened to Hits and Picks, you know that Melvin, we had to send him to rehab. Real big troubles. He's been at rehab. We had to send Brady to rehab for a week. There's just a lot of crazy things going around, and we're just worried about JT. We hope he's well. We hope he's doing fine, and we can't wait to reconvene with him next week if the opportunity makes itself happen. Whatever the word is, presents itself.
Presents himself. Well, we're thinking of JT big time here. Now, since it's just us two, we had a little debate. We were talking just 2 minutes ago before we fired up here in the line here as we got called to go eat. You want to refresh what we just were speaking about, Jake?
Yeah, so it's good to see all of Mountaineer Nation is attacking the NCAA, rightfully so. Our guy Raekwon Battle, he's a transfer from Montana State, really talented kid. Grew up, I believe, on the Tulip Reservation in Washington. Became real fond of the university from speaking with Coach E. Coach E also grew up on a reservation. And really the big story here is that, Raekwon is just wanting to play basketball. There's no rhyme or reason why the NCAA keeps denying his waiver. He posted a video today, I believe, at noon. Right now, I think it's around 7:20, 7:30. The video already has over 1 million views on Twitter. There's a lot of people chiming in. Shout out Jay Billis. Really, it was just a video, explaining his story, explaining why he came to West Virginia, explaining why he needs basketball in his life. I personally think it's an insane thing how an entity like the NCAA, like, for example, they just approved a waiver for a student athlete who's been to 3 schools as well. They just pick and choose who they want to let play. And I'm happy to see Mountaineer Nation rallying behind this young man. Obviously he's a great talent, but really, this is more than talent, more than sports. It's something that actually helps him clear his mind. He's been through a lot of adversity, and he was very open about it in the video. And, we're here rooting for him. We're hoping the NCAA does the right thing.
That's all we can hope for. I mean, when it comes down to it, these are kids. Let the kids play. And like you were saying, it's bigger than a game right now for this young man. On the other hand, how about you just let him fucking play sports?
It's crazy.
It's not like it's going to hurt the NCAA in terms of money. So why don't you just let the goddamn kid play?
I agree. And what's even like more confusing here is there genuinely is no rhyme or reason who they pick and choose. I mean, they say like, oh yeah, this person met this person met that. They literally just pick and choose who they decide to play. It's a group of, call it what it is, probably old whites sitting in the penthouse upstairs in their chairs, just deciding. They're probably sipping a little whiskey, going through. They pick who plays, pick who doesn't, and all they have to do is they get to hide behind the committee. Really, to me, things should have to be transparent. If you don't let a kid play, you should have to give a detailed reason to the kid, to the school. And if they chose to share that with fans, that's up to them. But it's an insane thing that a group of individuals can decide if a young gentleman or young woman is allowed to play a sport or not when they followed the rules and followed the criteria to switch schools. Will never make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, we're not going to be the first one to say it, but the NCAA is a big fucking hypocrite when it comes down to a lot of things like that. turning on, we can just pile on the NCAA. We were talking about a little last week. Florida State gets snubbed from the playoff contention after winning all their games. One of the only, technically 4 teams to do it in NCAA football, 3 in big Power 5 conferences. And they're the only ones left off after being 4th place last week. Now we're 5th place this week.
Yeah, you honestly, I'm gonna give you this one first because you were really vocal on talking about Florida State, and I actually want to hear your thoughts on the matter.
So, I mean, I understand that, Alabama and Texas are more popular and have bigger markets than Florida State when it comes to football. We're all not idiots. But at the same time, I don't understand how you can punish a team that is winning every single football game. They were 4th last week. Now all of a sudden Georgia loses. They're in 5th. Shouldn't they go up? Am I insane? Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense why Florida State would get kicked out other than, yeah, it's a popularity vote. We understand. But that almost makes winning irrelevant when it comes down to it. It sets a very bad precedent. I saw a lot of people going off and being like, I don't understand how you can take an undefeated team in a Power 5 conference that win all their games out, regardless if they're healthy or not. Like, what does it matter? Like, any reasoning, Jake, can you think of?
I mean, so last week, I think JT was in the same camp as me. I think both of us, and if I didn't say this, this is how I feel. Florida State being undefeated, they definitely should be in. Period. There's no question. There's nothing that I can say that would strike a case for them not to be in. Yes, the quarterback's hurt. It is what it is. Yes, they're in a weaker ACC. There's no argument to me on why they should not have been in. We can give reasons why they weren't in, which is what the quarterback, the weak conference, whatever it may be. But let's call it what it is. Let's just get it out there. Let's call it what it is. The reason Florida State did not make it is because the money machine was not going to allow a non-SEC team in the playoffs. That's all it is. That's all it comes down to. It sucks. It sucks. But that is business, dog. That is the entity, the money-making machine. Now, yeah, you could sit back and say, hey, Jake, Texas is going to be in the SEC next year. Why wasn't Florida State just 3 and Texas was 4? Wouldn't the SEC be happy then? The answer is no, because they're still in the Big 12, and the Big 12 is going to get any money that Texas gets from this, not the SEC. That's next year. Do I think that Florida State got robbed of not being in the playoff? Yes. Do I think the playoff is better without them in it, with the quality of teams that are about to play each other? Abso-fucking-lutely. It would have been great to see Florida State play Michigan, and truthfully, that probably would have been their best draw, period, in the first round. I think Michigan's going to get their fucking doors blown off against Bama. I mean, again, I'm not a Big Ten guy. I don't watch Big Ten ball weekly. I could be wrong here, but every time I've watched Michigan, they've never impressed me. They're a great running team. It's hypocritical of me to say because WVU's a great running team and Denver's a great running team, but I don't see the Michigan hype. They have a great defense. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, they can put points up. After watching Michigan and Iowa and then Bama and Georgia, I tell you what, brother, yeah, it's not looking bright. But back to Florida State. I think they got robbed, yes. Do I think it made the playoff better? Unfortunately, yes. And that's my opinion.
Now, do you think if Florida State's quarterback's fully healthy, they get in?
1,010%.
So it's based on the injury.
1,010%,
fully
I do
on the
believe.
injury. Now, some are making the argument that through all the resiliency, the fact that Florida State continues to find ways to win, also merit how good of a full team this is. Where they stopped Louisville, which is a top 20 offense. What? Didn't let them score a touchdown, right? All game.
Louisville lost to Pitt.
Who am I thinking of?
No, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. I'm just stating that Louisville lost to Pitt.
Yeah,
Pitt,
but I
Pitt
mean,
won 3 games this year.
Alabama was one, hail 40-yard Mary away from, losing to Auburn, who was 6-6 this year. You know what I mean? So we can go, we can talk wins and losses all year long. Yeah, but so going back to now, Florida State's on their third string quarterback. I believe it was the first year ever they had the college football playoff. Was 2014.
Correct.
This is also the same exact year where TCU was 4 going into the last weekend. They blow out their team. Ohio State blows out their team. Ohio State jumps from 5 to 4. TCU gets kicked out.
Correct.
Do you know who the quarterback on that Ohio State team was?
Yes, it was a third string Cardell Jones, but the difference is Ohio State won 59-0, not 16-3.
I would like to quote here now, one of our all-time favorite franchises, played by none other than Vin Diesel. Winning is winning.
I agree.
And it doesn't matter if you win by a half inch or a mile. It doesn't matter if you win by a touchdown or 40 points, as we saw, So that's my case. I don't understand how you can do that to those kids. And I think part of the argument, I think I saw Casey from Barstool tweeted that, it makes winning irrelevant. It doesn't matter how many games you win, because at the end of the day, if shenanigans can happen, and they can just take anyone they want. And, it just proves that the NCAA is just, hypocrites as per.
I agree. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be so honest here. I don't think them winning every game is irrelevant. I also think we actually really need to think about this in true fashion here. They played an entire ACC schedule, and they played 2 SEC teams in the non-conference. Any other school, that's, pretty much good enough if you went out to get in. Here's the problem. If we're talking about a full body of work here, Michigan didn't lose. They beat Ohio State and Penn State ranked teams.
Yep.
Washington didn't lose. They ran the gauntlet. I mean, they beat Oregon twice. Yeah. USC, Arizona, a lot of good Pac-12 teams.
USC, Utah. I mean, they play good teams.
Play good teams. Number 3, Texas. They lost 1 game to Oklahoma in the last minute in the Red River rivalry shootout, whatever the hell you want to call it, showdown, whatever it is now. I think Oklahoma finished 12th or 13th, but they beat Alabama. Yep. You have Alabama with 1 loss to Texas.
It was the first game of the season too, right?
I think it was second or third. I think it was the third week. You have Florida State. They're undefeated. They struggled against ACC schools. They beat LSU. Great win. Sadly, LSU lost 3 games. They beat Florida. That was a good win at the time. I don't even know if Florida's bowl eligible. They struggled, dude. They struggled in the ACC. And again, I'm not discounting all of their wins. I think if their quarterback's healthy, they're definitely in. But I also think there is something to be said is nobody wants to watch a game like Michigan and TCU last year in the first round. Nobody wants to watch a game that way. And yeah, the other side of the argument is, Jake, this could have been a game for the ages. It could have been an upset for the ages. You're right. People are right that say that out there. But the problem is most likely it's not going to be that way. I mean, Florida State's offense couldn't do shit. And Louisville was ranked decently high. They lost to Pitt. Pitt sucks. They suck. And I'm pretty sure they lost to Pitt at home or something crazy. I don't know. I think, we were 1 year too late of jumping to 12 schools. For me, there's not going to be an argument of 12, 13, or 14. There's a significant jump in those rankings. Everyone's like, we're going to have this again next year. No, you're not, dude. You're not. That far out
I bet they will. I bet they will. They're going to argue it should be 16, and then it's going to be 24, and then it's going to be 32, then 60. They're going to play 5 regular season games and then just do a tournament.
People will argue it, but the reality of it is if you look at the rankings, 5-4, 6-4 is much closer always than 12-13, 12-14. And yeah, next year people will complain, but you got to complain, man. That's business, baby. That's page views that drives volume. It is what it is.
Yeah. Just last circle comment back. You said you didn't want to see Michigan, TCU from last year. TCU won. They let TCU in undefeated, and they beat Michigan.
No, I know that's the thing. I think Michigan would like. And no, I'm not talking like rankings and stuff. I'm just talking about game in general. Like, I honestly think Michigan would have rolled through Florida State.
Yeah. I mean, you know
Could
what?
Be wrong.
The NCAA made sure we'll never know.
But hey, listen. If Florida State's so good and deserved in, let's see how you do against Georgia. I mean, they would have probably most likely been in. Honestly, they're the reason why you're not in. So let's see how you play against Georgia. Maybe we'll see if we made a mistake or not.
Yeah, I don't know. The true national championship coming up for whatever that bowl is.
Yeah, you're right. Duke's Mayo Bowl, WVU versus North Carolina, Wednesday the 27th at 5:30. Yeah. Charlotte's going to be hopping. Rumor has it 75% of ticket sales are for the old gold and blue. Let's ride, baby. Neil Brown is back. The Jimbo Fisher talk is gone with me. I'm all in. We're trusting the fucking climb again, dog. Let's go.
Trust the climb. Are you and JT going down to the game?
No, unfortunately, Wednesday at 5:30. I mean, that's kind of tough. Yeah, I mean, but luckily, I already had Thursday off, so that'll probably be one where like get done work, crack one, and have a good day. It'll be cool.
Nice. What is JT going down? I know he's got to be closer, right? I assume.
Yeah, so he's actually, I think he's coming back here for like 2 weeks. So I think he's coming back maybe on like the 22nd, 21st, something like that. And his plan is to stay till after New Year. So hopefully that happens. That'll be sick.
Nice. I'll be in, I think 25th, 26th, maybe 27th too. So
hell yeah.
We'll have to link up, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you're here on the 27th, we can watch the game.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Did you know that one of the bowls is just in Arizona always?
Yeah.
Which one is? I don't even know which one it is.
It's
Is it the Fiesta?
It's the Fiesta Bowl. Yep.
The Fiesta Bowl is in State Farm Stadium, where the Cardinals play. I didn't even know that. Didn't even realize.
Yeah. I honestly don't even know. I can't remember who's in that bowl this year. But yeah, they have it there every year.
I think it's Oregon and Liberty. Liberty.
That's an interesting matchup. I was actually on a plane when they announced all the bowls. So I was in Florida this past weekend. Went down to Siesta Key. Kicked it with my man Scuba Steve. I got sunburned as shit, dog, but it was really fun. We beached it all day on Saturday. Then we went to they had a snowboarding competition at the skate shop. They blew fake snow and set up these ramps and stuff. And it was pretty sick. We were like worn out. So we only stayed for about an hour, and like there were a lot of people there, but it was cool. Really cool. Yeah. Fun weekend. Nice. What you get into?
What did I do this past weekend? Was I gone? No. This weekend, I don't even know what I did. I think I actually, no, I didn't leave my apartment all weekend.
Love that.
And the apartment is like, I don't know, what, 2,000 square feet? Is that a lot? That seems like a little, right? That's a little amount, right? I don't know. Yeah, or not even 2,000 square feet.
2,000 square feet's a lot.
No. 1,600 feet, maybe?
My house is only like 800 some square feet.
No way.
I'm pretty sure, dude.
No, this is the lunch line trying to do math here. No way. I think, I don't know. Maybe it's like 1,300. It might be like 1,300. I don't know. Well, I mean, just I don't know. There's no way your house is only 800 square feet. There's no shot. There's no shot.
Dude, they only count the upstairs in those. It's weird. You don't count downstairs when you do square feet in homes, I believe, which doesn't make sense.
But I've been in your house. I feel like it definitely has more square feet than like my apartment, like my room, my roommate's room, and like our living area. You know what I mean?
Just
like,
think about upstairs though. You can't be biased to the downstairs.
no, I know, but you got like the bedroom. You got the multiple bedrooms and the kitchen, the living room. I mean, you got
Stripper
space.
pole.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. Okay, yeah, breaking news, stripper pole. But so, anyways, I really didn't leave my bedroom, and I think I ordered wings every day, and I just watched football and I played League of Legends, and
so you're telling me you had the greatest weekend of all time, is what you're actually saying?
it was a pretty solid weekend. I think I gained 5 pounds, no exercising, just straight tearing my back up, leaning forward, open mouth gaming, and just losing a bunch of League of Legends games as I watched football. So yeah, it was an experience for sure. So that's going well. We're in the middle of softball. Well, and by the middle, we're on the tail end. We play tonight, and we're top 4, but we're on the loser side. So we literally are playing every night until we lose. So
you ain't losing.
We ain't losing. We're playing the team we beat first round. So hopefully we can just pound them top 3, and then we'll have to play probably the team we lost to second round. We'll have to get a little redemption, but
they don't want the smoke, dude. They dream every night about how lucky they got against the boys, and they don't want to run it back. I promise you.
It's like Alabama with 1 loss. Okay, we're dangerous here. We're dangerous right now.
Facts.
But that's rampant. That's like cooling off, so that'll be good. And then, yeah, then we'll be done. Then we have like 1 or 2 more weeks of work, and we kind of get like a little hiatus break. So that'll be fun. And then my girlfriend, she's coming out on Friday this week. And
nice.
She works from home some days, so like she's just able to work out here, throughout the week, which is awesome. So that'll be a good time. And then we'll go there for holidays, and then wheeling for a bit, and then back to Columbus. So that'll be fun.
Nice, dude. Yeah, working from home's goated. It's top tier when you can finesse like that. But dude, I bought a new movie.
You're buying movies still?
So secretly, yeah, I buy movies because I like to have a collection of movies that I own. Like I have a solid digital collection of movies that I love that are very hard to get on streaming services and rarely are on them.
Okay. I thought you were buying DVDs for a second. I'm like, I don't even know if you can get a DVD player anywhere except for eBay.
No, dude. No. I'm just buying digis. But great new flick that came out. It's a new tale. It's called Dumb Money.
Oh, I've seen the trailer. It looks good.
I tell you what, bud. I've watched it twice in the last 2 days. I haven't seen a movie yet that accurately depicts the rich versus normal people living their everyday lives since I've seen Dumb Money. An incredible flick. People that haven't heard it, people that lived under a rock. In 2020, we had this thing called a pandemic. And when that happened, a lot of people were home. A lot of people were on the internet. A lot of people didn't know what to do. And this man, Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, jumps out of nowhere. Wall Street Bets, Reddit, all of a sudden, starts talking about GameStop. People start buying GameStop. It's a story about how GameStop almost bankrupt every hedge fund that exists in the United States. Solid lineup of actors and actresses. They show three different hedge fund guys. Can't remember the dude's name. The guy that plays Kingpin in the Marvel stuff. He's Steve Cohen, who is the owner of the Mets. Seth Rogen plays Gabe Plotkin, who is he was the why do I have balloons coming up? Did you see that?
So I've been seeing stuff like that. It works on FaceTime too. Like you did a thumbs up and then
bubbles
showed up.
Yeah, what? What's going on?
Thumbs up. I don't know if we'll get the video on that, but yeah, you want like this and like balloons came down?
Yeah, I was holding up like this and a bunch of balloons came. Yeah, look. What the heck?
This is great for our audio listeners.
Yeah, fuck it. So yeah, Gabe Plotkin played by Seth Rogen, and then Ken Griffith. Fuck, I always forget the guy's name. It's I mean, everybody knows who he is. It's the guy that's in. Dude, this is so bad. People just have to look up the IDMB. And then there's like 5 or 6 normal people. One out of Detroit, played by a known actor. One out of Pittsburgh, played by America Ferrera. Keith Gill and his brother out of Brockford or Boston, Massachusetts, one of them. The guy that plays Keith Gill is the Riddler in the new Batman movie. And then Pete Davidson plays his brother. And I believe there's one other person. And dude, I'm telling you what, man, it is a beautiful movie, bro. Like it's incredible. You know, they start 6 months before the lead up to it, the charge. Fascinating movie. And I give it all my flowers. I think everybody should watch it. It's an accurate depiction of really what happens in America and how America's a business and how they can turn the game off when they want to. And it also shows that if us normal people stick together, we don't gotta rally, we don't gotta do anything crazy, but if we stick together, you really can like change the way things work. And now they actually change the way the stock market works. There's like been less like I forget the word. It's not short squeeze, but something else has been, and now they're watching retail traders. So great flick.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, like the cast, it's very reminiscent and very like similar stories to The Big Short, honestly. You know? So like when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, this reminds me of The Big Short. Massive actors. Paul Dano is Shailene Woodley, Talia Ryder, Seth Rogen, Pete Davidson, America Ferrera, Sebastian Stan, and Nick Offerman. I mean, how can you go wrong with a cast like that? So I'm excited to watch it. And so you said it's not on any streaming services?
No, not yet. It just came out to buy, and I wasn't waiting. Like, that's one of those movies where it's like, I want to own it so I can be able to watch it. Dude, the fucking greatest scene, it's even in the trailer. It's just like when Shailene Woodley leans over and she's like, babe, how much money did we make today? And he's just like, 5 million. And she's like, how much money did we make yesterday? And he's just like, 4 million. And then it pans to Seth Rogen and his wife, who's Gabe Plotkin, and his wife, they're standing in the kitchen. She's like, so how much money did we lose today? And he's like, 1 billion. And she's like, what about yesterday? And he's like, 1 billion. It's like,
oh my gosh,
Tig, these guys were, well, it was more so Melvin Capital. He was losing his ass, dude. Like losing his ass. And it's just an insane story because they just show how like they were keeping track of Wall Street bets. Like they were very familiar with Roaring Kitty. They were very familiar with everything 6 months out. They just didn't realize fucking diamond hands, bro. They didn't get it.
They didn't believe in the American people, honestly. You know what I mean? And like what the power of the masses.
Power of the people.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So that's cool. I'll have to watch that when that comes out. Dumb money. Where do you keep it all? Do you keep it all on like iTunes and stuff or Apple TV?
Yeah, I buy it all on Apple TV. So I'd say honestly, I've been doing this since like 2016, and very randomly I'll just buy a movie. Never forget, first one I bought was War Dogs. Like it's movies like that. Like I keep like classic movies that like might be hard to find genres that I love. Like I have Savages, and then I have like Endgame and Spider-Man and stuff like that, Venom. But yeah, I have a great collection that I like to randomly build on at times because Tiggy Nation, we're coming close to these streaming services being way too expensive to keep paying for monthly.
Absolutely. Did you see, not only are they expensive, they keep increasing price. Did you see a lot are combining services?
I just saw this yesterday.
Yeah. So I saw Verizon is helping team up with, I think it was Apple TV and I forget what else. I sent it to my
Paramount Plus. I think Apple TV and Paramount Plus are going to link up, I think, is what I saw.
Yeah, let me check. I sent it to my family's group chat, and it was, you're saying Paramount?
I believe.
Oh. So that might be coming out. The Verizon is teaming up with Netflix and Max. That's teaming up, but I think you're right. I think across the pond, some other streaming services combining Paramount Plus, which has all the reality TV, CBS, which is incredible, with Apple TV, which Apple TV is fucking sick. I don't think Apple TV gets its flowers enough, but Apple TV is awesome. Awesome shows, awesome movies, awesome originals, and, you know, I know it says the world mostly has Androids, but I don't think that's, I think in the US, I feel like it's 80% Apple, at least.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I think right now, not including like my grandma and aunt.
Yeah.
I think I only have one friend right now, shout out Ty, that has an Android that I can think of.
Yeah.
But dude, just look in the wild. Sometimes scan the wild and you would be shocked at how many Androids you see.
I mean, I probably, because the thing is, whenever you see like switch carriers or something like that, they give you like 5 billion free Samsung phones. You know what I mean? Yep. So like for a family with a bunch of new users, all of a sudden, you know, like let's say like you have kids and they're reaching, I don't know when kids get cell phones now, probably like 7, I'm guessing.
If that, dude.
I don't know. So probably like when it's like, oh, I have like an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, 6-year-old. It's like, well, let's get a line of 5 phones. And, you know, it's like, I mean, free phone, who gives a shit what they have? You know what I mean? So, you know, I can see just tons of families getting like all the Samsung deals, but I feel like it's very massive overseas, like in other countries where they'll have Android galore. I don't think Apple is as prevalent over there as it is in the US.
So well, yeah, it's because those nerds use WhatsApp. They don't care about iMessage.
They're using WhatsApp. They're using Kik. They're using Facebook Messenger and stuff.
Yeah.
Just text me. What's the matter?
What is this? The 1920s, dude? Like, it's called an iMessage. It's called a text message. I'm not downloaded your stupid ass app just to talk to you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How often do you use Snapchat?
To be quite honest with you, I use Snapchat. Me and JT Snapchat each other every morning. My younger cousins put me in their Snap group with all of their friends. So I'm on there more looking at that. When I'm bored at night, you know, drunk, might send a stupid ass selfie, drinking, you know, smoking, whatever it is. But honest to God, I don't really use Snapchat that much anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I feel like Snapchat is such a young person's app. You know what I mean? Such a young person's app. Like that's like the Kik and the WhatsApp and like, you know, the old school RuneScape forums are. You know what I mean? It's like you don't really want to go into the Snapchat messages and stuff now. Like I feel like I see videos all the time of guys picking up girls or something like that. It's like, hey, what's your Snap? And it's like, it looks like they're like 27. I keep saying like over and over again. It's driving me crazy as I say it. But it's almost their approximate age, like 25 or 26. And I'm like, I think you're too old to be using Snapchat as like your pickup line. Just ask for their number.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is Snapchat just takes the liberty of deleting streaks. Like me and JT were at 170 some, and like I really was just wanting to get to 200. Like I'm this close from just deleting it. Like I never use it, and then they just fucking took it away from us.
Yeah.
So now, and I'm not. And then it's like pay 99 cents to restore. Fuck you. Like what? That's crazy to me. So I'm gonna keep grinding here for a little more, see where we can get it. But that might be a thing of like 2024, where I say sayonara Snapchat.
Yeah, I agree. How often, or no, not how often. When did you get your first cell phone?
First cell phone was in 6th grade. I had an LG flip phone, and this was before there were screens on the front of the phone. So for kids that heard me say that, they have no fucking idea what I mean. They're like, oh, they weren't always these great pieces of glass that you carry around. No, dude. You used to have to flip them open, flip them closed. It was just a silver phone with a cool little like black swoop thing that said LG. That was my first phone, man. But 6th grade, I was 12 years old, and it was only to be used at the time. And dude, this is crazy. This was before unlimited texting was a thing. Like, we don't forget, but like people forget texting wasn't like an unlimited thing.
Yeah. Texting wasn't unlimited. I think 1 month I had like 200 messages or something like that. Like, it was super low. Just imagine you're only limited to 200 messages. And I think that was receive or send out.
It was.
So you cut it in half. It's like, well, I can have 100 small conversations or like text basically, because I assume they're going to respond. You know? For 1 month, people are sending that probably within an hour and a half.
I agree, dude. And then it's even crazy how fast this shit evolved. Like you went from a flip phone, a flip phone in 6th grade with no front screen, another flip phone in 7th grade with the small little screen on it that just said the time and had an emblem if it was a missed call or text. Then went to the Samsung's flip phone, which was, trying to compare this to people. Imagine going from like a regular Game Boy to a PSP. Like, that's kind of what the colors looked like. The design was. It was like the new Lambo, the new Ferrari. Then all of a sudden, we had these phones come out, Tiggy Nation, that weren't flip phones anymore.
No,
they were just one little thing like this. I remember I had the first phone. Actually, let's play a little trivia. Trivia. I had the first phone with iTunes on it. What phone was that?
First phone with iTunes? I mean, it has to be Apple, right? I mean, no? Jake's saying no to Apple. So the first phone with iTunes, that you could get iTunes. So I'm going to guess, and I'm going to guess it was a BlackBerry, because BlackBerries had apps. I'm going to guess BlackBerry.
The Motorola Sliver.
Oh, what?
You could get iTunes on that. I had iTunes on the Motorola Sliver.
No way.
Isn't that crazy? And people will be like, oh, like, what's the Sliver? It was like the Razor's brother.
Sick.
Razor's brother, but it wasn't a flip phone.
Yeah, that's a sick phone.
Yeah. I love that phone. And then trying to think of Then the Blackjacks came out.
The Blackjack was my first phone. Blackjack, I think it was the Blackjack 2. I had the Blackjack 2 was my first ever phone after graduating 8th grade, going into freshman year, and I got a cell phone.
Great phone.
Fantastic phone. It was basically a BlackBerry, but it had all buttons. It didn't have like the rolly wheel thing. And I think it was significantly cheaper too. So I was like, I'll get the Blackjack. Whatever. It had a couple games on it and stuff.
And that was the first phone that I remember. You might have been able to do it on the Samsung Sync, which is a flip phone. I can't remember. But that was the first phone I remember where you could change the color display of it all. Oh. Like you could have it like orange or like pink or green. I remember getting this and being like, dude, we're in the year like 3000 right now.
Shout out Joe Bros.
Shout out. Like,
that's insane. Yeah,
but I mean, you touched on it, dude. The greatest phone ever created truly was the Blackjack.
Love the Blackjack. I was sad. I mean, I think most recently, a couple of years ago, I think we talked about it. The BlackBerry went out of extinction. I was like, I can't believe people were actually still using this. It's got to be like businesses. Because I remember like you would get like a work phone and be a BlackBerry. You know, like I didn't, but I feel like parents had them when we were young. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, got to get my BlackBerry. They wouldn't call it a cell phone. It was a BlackBerry.
Yeah. Dude, and actually, I even misspoke there. The Blackjack was a great phone, but I meant to say the greatest phone was a BlackBerry. Like, I had the BlackBerry Curve, dude. That was when times were simple. Times were simple, boys and girls. You texted, you called, you had a full keyboard. Really, same thing with the Blackjack. Just the more BlackBerry was more like in the movie, the cool ass movie that came out called BlackBerry last year. I own that as well. That was the phone before the iPhone. that is the phone that will always be remembered as the middle point between old school phones and the iPhone. Was like BlackBerry flirted in the middle. And fucking Steve Jobs came along and was like, not today, boys and girls. It's my time to shine.
Not today. BlackBerry, that was a prestige thing too if you had a BlackBerry, you know what I mean? Like that's like pulling out an Amex Platinum out of nowhere, you know? It's like, damn.
I like that. I like that comparison.
Yeah. That's crazy. Do you remember everyone listening is going to remember because like it's all the same age, but I think on my blackjack there was a button that would send you to the internet.
Yes.
And it hits the internet and it's like connecting, and everyone immediately would have the same reaction in which they're trying to cancel and get off the internet so that they wouldn't get charged for internet because no one had internet. No,
instant.
I mean, you couldn't even do anything on the internet back then.
Instant panic mode. Instant panic mode. Yeah, but you're right. Like you couldn't do anything. Like what were you getting on the internet for back then? Truly.
I was gonna oh my God, I was gonna ask Jeeves something.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, and for people, honestly, we're not even going to tell people to ask Jeeves is. You look it up if you want to know.
Google up who Jeeves was. That's just fucking calling me. I remember too, there wasn't protection if you traveled. So like if you go overseas and stuff like that, text won't go through if you don't have a plan and stuff. But I remember Connor, my friend Connor, who you know obviously, he might have been like traveling to Mexico or something for vacation or something like that, but he was out of the country. And I think I just forgot, and I sent a text to him. Like it might have been like, I want to say something on Twitter, but like something in the news or probably something happened, like yada. And he was like, please don't respond to this text. That last text you said cost me $30. I'm home at this day. Text me then.
So my God, dude. See, like shit like that. People just don't understand. They don't get it, dude. And I know this is going to be such an old man thing to say, and it's a complete sidebar, but it's on the same like track here. Kids today don't even really understand the meaning of rolling up the window in a car.
Oh, no idea.
They have no clue. People are like, oh, rolling up a window. Yeah, that's just putting my finger in and pulling it up. You literally used to have to roll up the window, bro. I mean, I know you remember. We were cranking those things back in the day.
Honestly, too, I wonder if it's kind of like it's kind of a safety option in a sense, because I think I saw a movie or something like that where if you fall in water, like with your car and stuff, half the time you can't roll the window down. You know what I mean? Like water's getting in there and stuff. So you have the rolly thing. You can actually crank that window down and stuff. So it's kind of a safety feature, but nowadays that's not a thing due to, you know, just accessibility and technology.
Dude, are we going to be the ones that start the revolt to bring back the OG window roller downers?
Dude. Or I wonder if they can make a hybrid where they have two options, you know? It's like that button where it's like, oh, you want to put it in manual and just slide the thing to the right?
Dude, but literally I can just envision myself like, you know, we started the charge. We did it for the people. They had to switch all their cars back. The first road trip you're having where you're driving and you're like, I'm like, yeah, God damn it, dude. I shouldn't have fucking did this. You're trying to drive, roll it down, take a sip of your drink. It just wouldn't work.
That'd be so funny. I remember too. Have you ever had your window get stuck? Like frozen?
Oh yeah.
Something happened. My window here actually got stuck. I was literally leasing a brand new car because I thought with the military, it's like, oh, I'm probably leaving in 2 years. So I'm like, I'll just lease a new car and like, then I can just get out of it with orders if I end up going to, you know, Korea or Italy or something, you know? So I just did that.
Antarctica.
And then Antarctica, you know, Israel, you know, I don't know. But the window wouldn't go down. And you're like trying to pull it up and stuff like that. But with the rollies, you can roll that bitch right up.
I know, dude. That's the fucking worst. That happened to me like a couple weeks ago. Can't even remember what I was doing or where I was going. It was early in the morning, started my truck. My windows wouldn't roll down. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Dude, and then I watched a video of a guy, probably had to be like in like Milwaukee or like Wisconsin, you know, one of those cold ass he looked like a good old Midwest boy. You know what I mean? He just goes out there at with the hammer, very, very lightly. He's just like, and it worked. And it was just tapping it very lightly to just. I was like, dude, if I would have fucking did that, I would have just broke my window.
Yeah, it's funny how there's different options like that. You see videos from people from Canada. They'll grab a hockey stick and just shoot all the snow off the top and stuff. I remember my dad used to do that when we were kids and shit. Like all the snow, because we used to get tons of snow. Now we get zero snow.
Dude, what was I just watching? It was some video that my mom showed me, some like heartwarming, like holiday old lady video, whatever. It was great. But even the girl says it in there, like, it does not snow. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It does not snow in this country everywhere like it used to.
No.
I mean, growing up right now in December, there'd be snow everywhere as a kid.
Snow everywhere. Snow days will be happening. I remember when we were super young, like maybe five or four, something like that. The snow was above our heads.
Oh, yeah.
The snow was literally like 4 feet tall. And you would have to I remember my parents tunneled out and you could just walk and there would just be snow piling on top of you. And you could just walk through tunnels basically.
Dude, I remember it was 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade. I think it was 4th grade. We had 2 days of school in the whole month of February. Literally. It's even in the yearbook.
Yeah.
And I know that's February, but still, I remember white Christmases. I remember snowy ass Christmases. Dude, I remember snowy Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
And you truly, I don't even feel like we sniff a. Now, yeah, it'll snow, it'll hit the ground, and it'll melt by the morning. We're not talking about that kind of stuff.
We're not talking about that.
We're talking about the snow that sticks on the ground for weeks and doesn't go anywhere and just keeps piling up.
Yeah. We're talking about your Amazon deliveries are getting delayed for months. There's no chance you're getting mail that day. You know what I mean? People aren't going to work, not just school. People can't get to work. It was insane. I mean, it's crazy nowadays. Maybe it's that damn global warming people keep talking about, but I tell you, getting zero snow. I mean, a couple of years ago, I went and played tennis with my step cousin, and we were wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
I know, dude. I mean, but listen, if they can make it rain once a week in Abu Dhabi, we should be able to make it snow here whenever the fuck we want.
You'd think.
Yeah, they just rich over there, dog. They're trillionaire, oil money, haha, America, you poor ass billionaires type money.
You poor ass. We'll buy all your sports teams for you.
Yeah, we'll just, you know what? You don't want to let us be a part of them. We'll just buy them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of oil money, it's my. All right, I'm there. Sorry, I think my thing went mute. Speaking of oil money, golfer John Rahm, who's one of the top golfers, I don't know if he accepted it or he's being very heavily persuaded to go to the Live Tour.
One of the greatest quotes of all time. He's like, I can go to Live and make $600 million, or I can stay here and play in the fucking John Deere Classic.
Yeah. Did he officially say he's going over?
I don't, as of yet, I haven't seen anything, but I don't think there's a downfall on doing it now since the Live and the PGA are kind of together. So Who cares at this point? Go get your bag, John.
Who cares? And I don't think who cares anyway. You know what I mean? There's so many things to care about, but for someone getting a massive payday, I don't know how that affects your life at all. Who cares? You're not going to see John Rahm in the 20 other golf tournaments on, CBS at 1:00 on Sunday when everyone's watching football anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Dude, it's in, you know what? I just hate hypocritical ass people too, because nobody's perfect. They're oh, you're going to take that blood money for what they do over there. You're going to take, it's dude, we nuked a country. What are you talking about? We blew Hiroshima to smithereens, dude. that we're not, the point I'm trying to make is like we're not all perfect. Like $600 million is $600 million, dude.
Yeah.
If Saudi Arabia wants to call right now and buy the lunch line, we're selling and we're going.
We're selling. We'll go right over there.
There's no questions asked. There's 0 questions asked. The only question asked is going to be, what color ink does the pen have to be and where do I sign? That's it. That's it.
That's a quote and a half. I love that. So, Saudi, you heard it. The lines are open. The lines are open. We're happy to negotiate, and it's going to be quick and painless.
Yeah.
Unlike your culture, but, you know.
Got him.
There we go. Oh, man. No, I tell you, time flew.
I know. Honestly, dude, it's been a time. It's honestly been a time.
It's been a time. It feels so good to say it's been a time. I feel like I've never said it's been a time.
Go ahead, say it.
But, well, guys, it's been a time, you know. So, it's been an incredible lunch line. You know, Judy Cheese is about to throw some grilled cheeses on her plate right now. Some Judy Cheese. So that's good. Speaking of, I guess we can quick round up football. Quick NFL talk. The Steelers still stink, and Kenny's hurt. So Mitch Trubisky's out there wheeling and dealing. So, I think it's Mitch's time to shine. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, just an update on the Broncos. Hand up. Didn't really get to watch the game. They fucked me. They switched it from a 4:25 to a 1 was in the air. I got to watch the last 2 minutes. When I got off the plane, they were getting smoked. When I got to the truck, they had a chance to win. Snapped a 5-game win streak. Still sitting at 6-6. A lot of teams that I needed to lose lost. No shade. I just needed you guys to lose too. And it really did hurt, though. That could have been a massive game for us because the Packers beat the Chiefs, and that would have put us 1 game out. But, hey, AFC right now is so wide open, so fun. I think the best records in the AFC right now are like 9-3, 8-4. And then like the wild cards are 7-5, and the next one's out are 6-6. That's like a 2 to 3 game swap. I think 5 games left in the season. It's going to be a wild ending race. I can't wait.
Yep. So things are heating up. Go AFC. Very exciting times. I don't know if they're in the AFC or the NFC, but RIP to the Jacksonville Jaguars due to their quarterback getting hurt. AFC. Shout out AFC. Trevor Lawrence got hurt, so that unfortunately is going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars out of playoff contention. Not because the record's bad, but because their starting quarterback's hurt, and that's what football committees do. So on that note, for you fucking Florida State fans complaining, nobody was complaining in 1993 when they jumped the undefeated West Virginia Mountaineers. A 1-loss Florida State team jumped an undefeated West Virginia team to play in the national championship. Karma's a bitch. You get what you get, my boy. There we go. And that was Jake. I'm Tiggy, and we wish JT the best, and hopefully he comes back next week. If not, someone will be here, and we'll be in line ready to eat it up.